So I wanted to start this video with a fact, something that is true, and not something that is, my opinion or is opinionated or swayed by any opinion whatsoever. So you know really what we're dealing with here. Caleb Williams had a 39 completion percentage when he was throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage. If you want more numbers, he was 9 for 23 throwing past the line of scrimmage. And I'm not lying. You can look it up. You can count all the passes he threw past the line of scrimmage that were complete. You can go on NFL Next Gen and see the chart and see that he was indeed 9 for 23 on passes beyond the line of scrimmage. That's a fact. And another fact is that Caleb Williams can't read a coverage. He can't fucking read defense. Because you don't go 9 for 23 past the line of scrimmage if you know how to read defense or if you're accurate. He was throwing his first read. He was throwing outbreakers the entire game. Chicago specifically designed their game plan where he throws to his first read every single fucking play. And I saw maybe 2 or 3 plays where he got past his first progression. It was all outbreakers, it was all screens, it was all one-read plays to the outside of the field. They didn't bother testing the middle. And by the way, every single throw that he had between the hashes, which I believe was 1 or 2, was incomplete. He had one where Hooker made a great play and the other where it was an inaccurate low pass to Odunze, I believe. And those are facts. Once again, you can watch the film, turn on the game, and you will see that I'm not fucking lying to you. And I'm not fucking lying to you when I say that Caleb Williams played like a high school quarterback in this game. He played like a high schooler. Deadass, he played like a high schooler. And there's nothing that you can say to disprove that. Because if you threw a high schooler into an NFL game, this is what they would play like. And this is the game plan that a coordinator would cook up for them. Little screens, out-breaking routes, nothing that's, too complicated for an NFL quarterback. He made maybe one NFL throw, and that was the one where he was rolling out and he threw a really good pass to DJ Moore when he was rolling out in a bootleg, and it was a beautiful throw. Like that showed his potential to throw the ball. I know he has potential. It's just, there's no way the guy lives up to it. He can't live up to all this fucking hype because one, his skill level is not there yet. He can't play in the NFL. This is why I think Chicago should have went out and got a veteran quarterback. Traded a 4th or 3rd round pick for a veteran quarterback. Someone who could start for a year, who Caleb Williams can learn under and get better under. Something like, give him like the Jordan Love treatment maybe, or give him the Aaron Rodgers treatment, or the Mahomes treatment, where you give him a year or 2 under a veteran, established quarterback. And then, in a year or 2, you start him and you go from there and see how good he is. If he sucks, he sucks. If he's good, he's good. You developed him correctly. Caleb Williams does not have what it takes to start in the NFL. At least not right now. So why bother starting him when he's this fucking bad? And the Bears, they have tougher teams on their schedule than the Titans. They have way harder teams to play. This is just the beginning of this. If Caleb Williams plays like this consistently in every other game, they're going to lose all the fucking time. And that is not a good thing because the Bears are expected to compete for a wild card spot, maybe even win their fucking division. How are they going to do that when this guy is playing like a scrub? He literally played like a high school player. He played like a fucking pud in this game. He played like a bum. And a bum might be understatement because when I was watching the game, I was looking at his footwork, how it got jittery under any sort of pressure. And he had one embarrassing play where, it was partially the Lions' fault. They let, I believe that big sweat dude for rookie out of Texas for Tennessee, the defensive tackle, get in immediately. And he danced around and lost like 20 yards when he could have just, when Sweat was right on him, he could have just fell. But he ran backwards 6 or 7 yards, and he embarrassed himself. Instead of losing 5-6 yards, he lost like fucking 20. Or not even 20, I'm exaggerating. Like maybe 10 or something like that. It was embarrassing. It was his fault. It's either you fucking go down, or you try to run past or something. Just do something. You probably should go down in that situation. Just give yourself up. Don't even bother taking a fucking hit in that situation. Don't. And the fact is, when you rewatch that clip, he tried to throw it when he was falling, but he tucked it last moment. If he didn't do that, it would have been a fumble. It would have went backward. I don't know what this guy is thinking when he's playing quarterback. He does not think like an NFL quarterback. And a lot of these young quarterbacks had fucking horrible games. But Caleb Williams, he played the worst out of every single one of them. by far. He wasn't reading coverage. He was throwing to his first read. He was wildly inaccurate on any tough throw. And he also had about 2 passes that I believe should have been intercepted. There was one where in the red zone where he overthrew a slant and it popped all the way up in the air and the guy got lucky and fucking caught it. That safety was lurking on that, knew that route was coming, knew he was going to telegraph that crossing route, and still didn't intercept the pass. And there was another one where he got a pass that was batted because he's short, and it was fluttering in the air, and he was lucky that no one was in the immediate area, because if someone was, they would have camped under like a damn punt and would have been intercepted. So I think he should have had 2 interceptions in this game. He got so lucky in this game that and they didn't score a touchdown. They scored, what, like 3 field goals and 2 defensive touchdowns or something like that? It was ridiculous. Will Levis threw the game away for Tennessee. Will Levis played like garbage. He's the only reason Tennessee lost. If they had a good quarterback, they would have demolished Chicago because their offense was non-existent. They did not come to play in that game. Not at all. This is a wake-up call for Caleb Williams and the Caleb Williams fucking fanboys. He is not as good as you people think he is. And that's why I was critical of him. That's why I made all those videos on him, because I knew that something was up with this kid. He is not as advertised. He sucks, and he needs to sit a year if he wants to become good. But Chicago, they think he's generational, and all these fucking media analysts and talking heads and fake scouts thought he was generational. He had no generational fucking traits. He had good traits, but not generational ones. And just ridiculous. He played like garbage, and there's no excuse for it. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.